Hey everybody, you're listening to the Ox and the Rat, where we put eternal truths to the test of modern times. How you doing over there?
I am good, Ox. This is the Rat speaking.
Indeed it is. And here we are for another installment of this wonderful show. Anything new you want to share with the audience?
Well, last night, I guess it was, early morning, I woke up. I just happened to wake up at about 4 a.m.
Oh, that's terrible.
And I knew that there were some fights going on at
really?
5 a.m. So I ended up watching I used to watch these like way back in the day in high school, which would have been like UFC probably 10 or 20 or whatever.
Yeah, where there was like people wearing uniforms and stuff. It was weird.
Yeah, Tank Abbott.
Yeah, I remember. Remember renting the VHSs. Yeah.
Ken Shamrock. Yeah. So I used to watch that with my brother and my dad, and I started watching it again. It's pretty interesting. Kind of inspires you to work out a little bit. He's like, all right, I'm gonna go. You start punching the air, get your heart rate up.
Oh, okay. No, I'm picturing it. I'm picturing it happening.
Yeah. So at the same time, it's good to watch that and do a little workout, because then when you get tired, you watch these guys that are all ripped and you're like, you know what kind of stuff they got to go through. But it was pretty good. So I watched that from like 4 a.m. till like 11 a.m. They're super long.
Wow, it's an interesting wake up. I was doing well. Not so much recently during COVID times, but I was super consistent with my 5:30 wake ups, and I really enjoyed that, actually, that morning time. That's when I would work out, but changed.
Yeah, because when it got to 11, I was like, oh man, it must be like 2. It felt really late, but then you're like, oh, a lot of people aren't even up doing stuff at this time.
Are you living in a house without clocks?
Yep.
Oh,
I have my phone and my computer, but
well, I applaud that. To be fair, you're like a human sundial.
Yeah. Well, I always leave my windows open so I can see when it's sunrise. I guess I know it's time to wake up when the sun's up.
Yeah.
Which I woke up today, 7 a.m. No alarm.
Wow. I wish I was waking up at 7. Well, in any case, for me, nothing particularly interesting going on. Actually, it's not entirely true. Helped my parents brew a new batch of beer. For those of you who don't know, I'm a passionate home brewer. Not like that. I'm not like one of those super annoying guys who talks about pilsners all the time. But made what's that? What do you say?
Are these hoppy?
Oh, the one I made recently. I made it with my dad, actually, because my dad's in this project with me. Was quite hoppy. It was an IPA. It was one of the first dry hopped IPAs I've ever made. So, once you're done hopping and you do all the stuff, you wait a week for it to ferment out, and then you put the hops back. You add more hops, and it gives us this awesome floral punch. So it is, but most of the stuff I make isn't, because that's not my deal. I'm not a bitter person. I like the floral aromas, but I don't like the bitterness of hops. So
yeah, I think hops gives me a headache.
Maybe, yeah, it could be.
Is hops acidic at all?
Yeah. Well, they're alpha acids. So
because I was just reading, I get migraines from time to time.
Mm-hmm.
And the other day I had, I squeezed, I think I used like 2 slices of lemon total, and I was having some like Perrier or something. So I squeezed in some lemon, and I got an insane migraine for 2 days.
Wow.
And that's all I had was that lemon water, and then I looked up, I'm like, I was looking up, does lemon or citric acid cause migraines? And that's one of the triggers. Is for some people.
Wow.
So, and I always thought that like with sports drinks, because they're a little bit kind of sour, acidic, maybe. And I remember getting headaches when I drink those as well.
Well, it could be a sugar intolerance too. which is
maybe, but that's also like water and lemon. Not a lot of sugar.
Yeah, well, I'm an anti-sugar person, so maybe I'm biased. But any case, stay away from those hoppy beers. I make some great. I made a great English mild. It was very low acidity, low hops. I actually prefer the lower hopped beers, and we're growing hops actually in the backyard. And they're all what they call noble hops, which are these low alpha acid original varieties from Europe. I got some East Kent Goldings and Fuggles. That's actually the name, Fuggles, in the backyard. Yeah. And I just made the beer today that had Fuggles. I helped my parents make their first oatmeal stout. It's actually my first oatmeal stout, and I'm pretty pumped about it. It looks really good. But yeah, a lot of running up and down while I was doing work, trying to help them make beer. I'm the expert, and I'm trying to teach them. So maybe
the apprentice.
Yeah, they are my apprentice. I think that's the plural of apprentice.
You fight.
Anyways, let's start with this insane fable. Well, I don't know that's insane, but it sure looks funny. And I like the moral at the end, and we'll see if you can figure it out, Rat. All right? So you ready?
Ready. The
Monkey and the Dolphin. Just the juxtaposition of monkey and dolphin makes me smile. Like, I think it's funny in some way. I find the image of the monkey and the dolphin like together very comical. Like, I imagine a monkey just going to town on this dolphin, and the dolphin being like, like making that sound, like jumping out of the water. I don't know why it gets me, but all right, enough of that. All right, the Monkey and the Dolphin. It happened once upon a time that a certain Greek ship, bound for Athens, was wrecked off the coast close to Piraeus, the port of Athens. Had it not been for the dolphins, who at that time were very friendly toward mankind, and especially toward Athenians, all would have perished. But the dolphins took the shipwrecked people on their backs and swam with them to shore. Did you know that's a thing that actually happens? It's documented that dolphins will help out shipwrecked people. True.
Did not know that.
Yeah, well, there you go. Now it was the custom among the
especially
Greeks.
Athenians.
Yeah, especially. Now it was the custom among the Greeks to take their pet monkeys and dogs with them whenever they went on a voyage. I have no idea why a Greek would have a pet monkey. So when one of the dolphins saw a monkey struggling in the water, he thought it was a man and made the monkey climb up on his back. Then off he swam with him toward the shore. The monkey sat up, grave and dignified, on the dolphin's back. "You are a citizen of illustrious Athens, are you not?" asked the dolphin politely. "Yes," answered the monkey proudly. "My family is one of the noblest in the city." "Indeed," said the dolphin. "Then of course you often visit Piraeus." That's the port. Yes, replied the monkey. "Indeed I do. I am with him constantly. Piraeus is my very best friend." This answer took the dolphin by surprise, and, turning his head, he now saw what it was he was carrying. Without more ado, he dived and left the foolish monkey to take care of himself, while he swam off in search of some human being to save. Do you want to guess? That's a tough one. You want to guess the moral of this one?
It's really hard to put these morals into a sentence.
And yet, that is the ask.
Yes. Do not lie about your upbringings, for they too are noble.
True, okay. Go, I like that. I don't think you're entirely far off. I might have said, don't try to live above your station or something like that. But it's much simpler than that. One falsehood leads to another. How does that sit with you?
Well, I watch a lot of true crime.
Oh man, I love true crime. Do tell which ones. I've seen them all.
Okay.
Debt guaranteed.
The most recent ones that I watched were... Okay, I watched the Aaron Hernandez a little while ago.
Oh, dude. That was crazy. Yeah, okay.
It's crazy, but even better one, Outcry.
Which one's that?
You gotta watch Outcry. It's about, I don't even want to say what it's about, but it's about a kid in high school, a star football player, and his life just gets turned upside down.
Did he lie?
Not from West Philadelphia. No, I encourage you to watch it because I don't want to give any parts away. It's a real... If I even summarize it into a sentence, it might give something away. So I encourage you to go watch it. Outcry. Don't read the synopsis.
I don't even know what it is. Is it on Netflix? Like,
I think it's Hulu.
Oh, who the fuck watches Hulu?
Well,
I know that you do now, but
yeah, I'm not going to say how I watch it, but you can watch anything you want these days,
depending
on
where you are. Depending on where you are.
Well, no,
I'll tell you.
For me, I can get anything.
I can't.
Anyways,
I cannot. Yeah, but continue.
I can explain how later. Aaron Hernandez, Outcry.
Mm-hmm.
I watched the Jean Bonnet one.
Ooh, that was a bad
last
one.
night,
yeah.
I think.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't too good. It was a weird kind of... It was interesting how they did it, but it wasn't really like a true crime. And anyways, I watch a lot. I've seen most of them too. Did you want to say something about that?
Oh, I don't know. I've watched so many. I think that's a rabbit hole we should avoid. But one falsehood leads to another. Well,
yeah. So where I was going with it was that a lot of these people that get into trouble, they try to make up this whole story, right? And you're not. That's where they catch them because they keep getting interrogated. Their story ends up changing these slight little details. Oh. And they finally are like, gotcha.
That's a good...
In a lot of cases.
That's a good point, yeah. Yeah, but maybe... Yeah, I guess they made up the story because they were guilty in the first place. But that's a good point, yeah. You know, what a tangled web we weave kind of thing. Yeah, one falsehood leads to another. I'm tempted to comment on my past failures in relationships and to think about like how, you know, just that one lie that told to somebody you claim to care about really has been the source of a great deal of anguish when it is found out, or even if it isn't, because you're always like that, like the tendency to lie is so, like, you're trying to avoid that confrontation over the mistake, right? And that, like, even if you like avoid being implicated in, not crime's the wrong word, but if you avoid like you know, they didn't find out, you know, you're always living there. Like, you're definitely always worried that it's gonna come out, whatever it was. And yeah, it's been and the same thing goes for like friendships, you know, like a friendship built on a lie is definitely not a very strong friendship, you know. Same thing with a good relationship. And, you know, I've learned a lot. I'm not that person anymore. I'm, you know, but I've definitely been somebody who's kept secrets in the past. And I think, like, one of the things I determined for myself very recently, it was like, I'm just not going to do that. I've got to be honest. I've got to be straightforward about everything I possibly can. And I really enjoy it. I like it because it takes away that constant psychological trauma that lives in the back of your mind when you haven't been honest with somebody, because you're always kind of making shit up. If there is that falsehood anywhere in the background. Deep,
Yes.
deep, I know.
Indeed. I'm trying to think of something that I told a falsehood. And can we get that moral one more time?
One falsehood leads to another.
Okay, so one lie leads to another lie, basically.
We've never lied to me, so I know that.
Wow. I've just been living on falsehoods.
All this
It's hard to keep them straight.
No. Liar.
Let's see. I'm trying to think, because, I mean, I don't really do it as much probably in my adult life as, you probably do it more when you're a kid and you get caught and you lie.
Man, I'm gonna disagree with you there. I think the frequency may change, but the magnitude increases like a millionfold. I'm gonna go back to relationships again, and I'm gonna talk
consequences.
I'm gonna talk about the not even the consequences. Just like, I mean, I'm not gonna put you on the spot, but I mean, like, you like married couples, like, do you think they tell everything? And when you know that there's something out there that's not being said, like, you could see it. It's acidic, man. It's like it's like this corrosive thing, and they just like, I don't know.
Can you give some examples? Because I'm mainly the thing that pops up like a secret that you lie about seems, I don't know, for whatever reason, just goes straight to infidelity. Not like the
No, I'm not
subtle-
talking about that. I'm talking about the things like is everything like the everyday shit? Is everything okay?
Like, I'm fine.
Like is every yeah? There it
fine.
is. There it is. That one, and you fucking know it's not true.
Yeah.
I can't stand it. Like, who's winning? Like, I understand the impetus to not talk about the thing that's bothering you, but it's so corrosive because, all right, like, we're friends. We've been on many adventures together, right? And like, if I asked you, I feel like we've probably been there at some point, but who knows? I'm not talking about anything specific, but it's like, if I felt like, something's bothering you, and I was like, what's going on? And you're like, nothing. You know that's a fucking lie. Like, you know it. You goddamn know it. And it burrows deep. Like, because what happened there? Well, what you are almost certain of, and you may not know it, and that's important to distinguish between, I suppose, but it's the same repercussions, so maybe it doesn't matter. What you know for sure is that somebody that you consider to be a really good friend either A, doesn't trust you to tell you something, or B, might be bothered with you, and that's why. And then that's the whole rabbit hole of like, oh, well, what's about me? Like, were you upset with me? Like, what? And turn that into a relationship. I mean, you've been there. We've all been there. Like, it really, and you know what I've found? It's so easy to be honest. Like, like we've kind of talked in the past a little bit and alluded to like past situations or whatever. Like, I think, yeah, and I've definitely mentioned that, like, I've been through some health scares myself. That was the turning point. Like, I'm not gonna do that anymore. It sucks. And I see it, and I think because it was so visceral for me to go through the whole, like, this is who you are, and you don't, and I did not like who I was at that time, and it was stuff like not being honest, for example, or I don't know, just take your pick, but that's not really what matters. But it was having that change, and now that I feel like, for the most part, I'm a very honest person to a fault in many cases. I just see it everywhere, and it bothers me.
Yes. Yeah, I could relate in those terms, I suppose. But I could also say that sometimes maybe for me anyways, maybe I can be too sensitive about stuff anyways. So there are times where it is like pick your battles. You have to also recognize, am I being too sensitive here? Like, could I just get over this by myself and not have to even bring it up, and just kind of whatever you do, maybe it's not a good term, but rationalize, and say like, okay, let's give a specific example here. When we had when I was a little bit annoyed. All right, so we're over in I want to say Malaysia, but no.
Oh,
Myanmar.
I know what it is. No. Are you going to talk about? Are you going to talk about? Was it perhaps? Oh, okay.
No.
All right.
We were in Myanmar at the time on vacation, and we stayed in 2 different hotels.
That's right. Oh yeah.
So I got up. I was up. We had to meet at the port. So similar to this story.
That thing.
So we had to meet at the port, and I woke up. I was very near to the port, so I went down. I got myself some food for the journey.
Man, I got great pictures from that.
I did not. And then I stood waiting at the entrance to the port, and I was waiting. We didn't really have, I think, cell.
No, that was the main thing. Like they were cutting out, and yeah, we had those. I mean, it's Myanmar. Yeah.
So we had 2 different strategies. We didn't plan enough in advance, I suppose.
I think that may be the like we didn't plan is the shirt of our friendship. Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, I was standing at the port of call, waiting to see if the ox would show up, and the ox never showed up. What's going on? I go down to the boat. I'm looking around and just seeing a bunch of Myanmarians. I don't see this foreigner standing out in the crowd.
I was in the boat. I was on the boat.
Yeah, he was on the boat. I was waiting, and eventually the boat. Well, there's also like multiple boats.
There was. That was confusing. Yeah.
I didn't really know which boat to get on in advance, anyways. So I was waiting. Boat took off. Finally, he connected to some more.
Because at the moment
signal.
we got out to water, like I connected to the signal, and all of my previous messages came through.
Yeah, so I was pissed off because he went on this day trip that we paid for.
You got your money back.
I did not.
You got your money back.
I got my money back.
But yeah,
it's not the best story to
No, it's
to
fine.
Say, like,
it's fine. Yeah.
No, I mean for us, I don't really care. It's not a big deal. But for that day, I was pissed off. I wanted to do that trip, and I was there on time and all that stuff. So I don't remember. I'm sure I think we had it out through chat, like the messages.
yeah, for sure,
a little bit.
Yeah, quite.
But I could have. It's not the best because that is something that people would naturally just get angry about.
Yeah, fair enough.
Let's say I just said like, whatever. It was partly my fault too. It screwed up and blah blah blah. And then I didn't even bring it up to you.
No,
That's something where I could have.
You're very passive aggressive in person. I was very aware when I saw you later that you were not happy, for sure.
Yeah, but I could have dealt with it myself and not brought it up. You know, that could have been a strategy too. Over time, I dealt with it and whatever. So I'm just trying to counter your point where being honest, you got to also understand your what is it? I'm trying to say deficits. Understand your shortcomings, and maybe not all these problems need to be dealt with necessarily in truth. You could just get over it.
Yeah, I agree. And that's been I think the hardest thing for me in my modern relationships. Like that. I do meditation. I understand what it is, and I'm not like I'm not like one of those meditation nut jobs. Like, I feel like I'm a very like practical meditator. Like, I'm like, I don't need a workbook or a yogi. I understand what it is that I'm aware of what I'm feeling when it's happening, and I'm able to pick it up and drop it if needed, because I know what it is and I know what's causing it. But I really have had some major problems with that. I really struggle to. I always think the worst. I really do. I'm a pessimist about relationships, and I'm an optimist about just about everything else. Like, it's a very strange situation. It's not that even that I'm a pessimist about relationships. I'm a pessimist about like things working out for me when it comes to having like a meaningful relationship. Like, it's like, disaster's always around the corner. So it doesn't matter what happened. I will interpret it as like, oh, there it is, like, here's where we're going. Like, of course you're gonna think that, So I project those things onto other people, and I really have a tough time letting things go. Like, absolutely, if I wrote it out on paper, it would sound like bullshit kind of things. Like, like, oh, you should have seen the way she, and everybody would have been like, yeah, but
she responded to your question.
Yeah. It's like, but do you know that? I'm like,
that tone.
Yeah. And I'm like, oh, yeah. But it's in the moment. It doesn't seem that way, does it? I mean,
no, because I have had sometimes where you ask the person what's wrong.
Oh, that's a fun question.
But then they say nothing.
Oh, I hate that answer.
But the tone of that nothing.
Well, you know that there's something wrong. So here we come back.
But not a super obvious tone. Just like, that there's probably something there, but that might be like what you say, a projection.
Yeah.
Maybe there was nothing.
And now
they just happen to answer it in that certain way, and then you're like, oh, what's that mean?
And now you're causing it to be something so that you can make it real and be like, see, I told you, I knew it. I don't know.
I win.
I win, but I also lose drastically.
Yeah, now I hate this.
There is nothing worse than a bad relationship conversation. There is nothing worse, man.
So sometimes maybe keeping those lies, the initial lie, is okay. Because eventually you're going to get over it, and you're going to be like, that was me being sensitive. I'm just going to, whatever. I'm fine. And then you just kind of, if you can process it and deal with it healthily, and then you are eventually fine, then you just avoided something, one of those constant fights, potentially.
Yeah, because those are the most intractable fights where you're like, you're mad, you're going to tell me what you're mad about. Like, tell me, come on, damn it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You're going to get an
I got a list of things.
Okay, if you want to bring it up. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
We all have a list of things, don't we? Well.
So, going back, we're sort of on topic.
Oh, we're on topic, man. One falsehood leads to another, man. Like,
Because that's the falsehood, I guess, is pretending you're okay, and really you're just sour the whole time. So if you can deal with it by yourself, then, and it was really nothing, and you could handle it, then maybe telling that falsehood is okay. But if it's something that is going to lead to a sour night, a bad time, it's going to be one of those another little check on the board of things that you dislike.
Oh, yeah.
That's where you should be honest.
Those checklists, man, they're deadly. Yeah, well, shit, one falsehood leads to another. I tend to agree with this. I'm honest to a fault, and I think that it's a virtue in a lot of ways. But I don't know. But I take your point. Like, pick your battles, because the things that, and I guess another thing that I'm thinking now talking about this is like, maybe it doesn't really matter if somebody you care about is upset about something that you think is BS, because maybe they're gonna they would come to that conclusion anyways, and you're like, focusing on it is just gonna make them. It's gonna confirm things. Or, for example, I don't know.
Yeah, well, anybody that's being forced to think a certain way is probably gonna put up their guard.
We talked about the ass and the lion, right? If you confront somebody and you're like, you're wrong. Like, I'm good.
Oh, really?
I'm a good person. I do things right. Like, give me some more credit. Like, blah blah blah. You're kind of playing right into the thing, whatever it was, the negative thing that you claim not to be.
Yeah. Let's just hope the other person is reflective. Because if they're not, then it's never going to happen.
Well, shit, that's a whole other fable, my friends. Where do you come down on this one?
I struggle to find other areas where this applies for some reason.
Oh, man. What are you talking about?
Because it's lies.
Falsehood leads.
And I don't know. Maybe you could shine a light on it for me, but I think in my own life, I haven't really had too many falsehoods, like, especially let's just say right now, other than the ones you mentioned. I could probably be more honest in that.
I think you're a pretty honest person, to be fair.
In my life, like in my job, I didn't lie to get my job. I didn't say that I could do things that I couldn't do. I was actually very honest in that. In my interview, I told the boss, this is what I can't do. So if you're expecting me to do this, I basically said you might want to find somebody else, because they already had other opportunities anyways. But in that situation, they said, okay, we just won't make you do that. So it worked out in my favor. Otherwise, I would have been just struggling, trying to figure this stuff out that I had no idea how to do. So in that case, it was good that I didn't tell that falsehood. There's my example.
Huh. Well, so do you give it a thumbs up or a thumbs down? What do you think? One falsehood leads to another. Sounds like you're disagreeing with it.
Am I? I think it's true, just because you shouldn't be telling a bunch of lies, because those lies will most likely lead to other lies that you got to cover up, or to negative consequences. A lie in general is just a bad thing, probably.
Festers, man. Well, I'm 100% thumbs up on this one, as I've stated. However, with the caveat that I think that you're right. You've really gotta draw maybe some borders around what you consider to be a falsehood worth addressing. Because when like maybe a lie, maybe what's a lie for you is just somebody else's way of avoiding an uncomfortable conversation that they may not be 100% ready to discuss. And like maybe they're actually on the fence about, like, well, I feel this way, but I'm aware of that and I don't want to talk about it. But all right, you want to fucking talk about it. You're wrong. And so that confrontational aspect, we talked about that with the ass and the lion. You don't want to be that. Don't be an ass.
Yeah. We didn't really talk much about the dolphin and his prejudice.
Well, we sure didn't. There are many tales about dolphin prejudices.
Yeah.
But, well, yeah. Well,
the main idea we talked about. But, I mean, that guy, you can't just save whoever you deem to be noble.
Well, it's a monkey, and it's not a human. He hasn't done anything for him. There was a certain wrecked off. I don't know.
It's funny that Aesop at that time was like, yeah, the dolphins used to be nice to man, like even more so. They used to really be nice to man, but not so much anymore. Even in his time, the dolphins kind of turned on man a little.
Yeah, I don't trust dolphins. They're clearly the inheritor species to the planet, but that's a tale for another time. So I think at this point we're basically agreeing. I'm agreeing.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Stop telling lies, but watch out, man. You don't want
Be
to.
careful.
You don't want to be a monkey. That's for sure.
Yeah. Maybe it would have been better, if he just told that one lie, and then he's just like, then he just kind of made up some excuse not to talk. He would have got to shore.
Yeah, but he got caught because he
was arrogant. That was the other thing too.
Oh, here we go. Arrogant.
He's like, I'm a noble.
Noble.
I'm one of the noblest.
I know Piraeus. He's my best friend.
Yeah, so he was getting a little cocky there.
I'm getting the sense over the past two that arrogance is something that clearly needs to be discussed or is being considered in the background of every one of Aesop's fables.
Maybe Aesop had a problem with some arrogant ruler.
Well, if he was
and these were the undertones. Like everybody saw the initial one. They're like, don't lie. But actually, what he's trying to say in every single one is like, this guy's arrogant.
I'm just imagining him writing it out in Greek, and it's like a stupid monkey. It's like in capital letters or whatever, like etched in the tablet or whatever.
He's got this engraving of this ruler in front of his face.
Stupid ruler monkey. It's like on all of these things are, stupid ruler goat, master goat.
Damn hair.
That stupid master hair. Yeah, something like that. All right. Well, yeah. Let's call it. As fun as this has.
Thumbs up.
Thumbs up. One falsehood leads to another, folks. And you got a good saying to take away from this. We've been pretty good with our off the cuff, don't be a.
Don't be a monkey. Oh, I thought you were going to fill in the other part.
Oh, right. All right, go. Try it again. Try it again.
Okay. Don't be a monkey.
In search of favors.
Yes. That's our line.
Let's stick with that. Sounds a little sexual again.
Don't be a monkey in search of favors.
All right.
Leave us a comment and let us know, do you agree with this fable? Would you give this a thumbs up? Do you have any specific examples that you could share? And is it okay to tell a falsehood consistently?
And similarly, is it all right to be a monkey in search of favors?
Yeah. Let us know.
All right, folks. Till next time. Bye-bye.
Later.